I've just finished my rice cakes, your favourite meal. So we're just finished.
You just finished rice cakes? It's the perfect meal to eat on the podcast, though. Why don't you save it?
I know. I literally just finished the one when you invited me.
I like the headband, man. What's that all about? The headband looks good.
It's just the hot weather out here. I thought I'd double it up as a face mask, just in case.
Yeah. Hey, do you do weird shit when you're dieting? Like, you do stuff you wouldn't normally do, like in the off season?
Yeah, so normally I'd grow the beard out and get all frizzy like I did last time. But this time, the missus was like, "You're not doing that again." So I kept it clean.
No, but I mean, like the first time I ever wore a headband in the gym.
Yeah.
I was like 2 or 3 weeks out from a show. This is like a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's just something I never ever did before. But when you're dieting, I feel like you get weird in your fucking head.
Yeah, you start.
I think the first time I got a tattoo, I was only a few weeks out from a show also. So
I usually buy shit. I think all bodybuilders are the same, aren't they? Like Amazon gets hammered. I
literally forget what I've bought. Like I just keep getting stuff and then it comes to the house like a couple days later.
Yeah.
And I'll forget what it is.
PayPal. Crazy.
How much shit did you buy this prep?
I bought a lot. But they wasn't normal purchases. There was like big purchases this time. Like I'm talking Rolexes and stuff like
that. So business is good then.
Yeah, it seems so. We're leveling up. We've gone from cream of rice to Rolexes.
Dude, I got into cars. My worst. I get into car buying when I start dieting.
Yeah.
I get fixated on it. Like I'll get into like Auto Trade. Auto Trader is like a website that we have here.
Yeah, we've got that. Yeah.
You got it over there. Okay, so.
Yeah.
And I'll just sit on Auto Trader searching for cars.
Yeah.
And I'll get fixated on it to find the perfect car. And then before the prep is over, I'll have bought a car.
Oh, did you decide what you're doing with the truck yet? Are you getting rid of it or?
I almost did, man. I had a buyer and everything. And then I'm like, I can't let it go. I can't do it. Because I'm buying, I'm building up my gym.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Guy Sister Nino used to make fun of me for having the truck and never using the bed. And, I've been using the bed because now every time I buy equipment, I throw it in the bed, haul it to the gym and like, bars and dumbbells and whatever. So I've been using the truck, so I didn't get rid of it.
You need the truck. I've got a car like Guy's. So I think Guy's got the fake M4 and I've got the real one. So make sure you tell him.
If he hears that, he's going to. The first time I called him out on that, he got so mad.
Yeah.
You bought the real one?
Yeah, I've got the M4. But you can't fit anything in it.
But listen, I know this is a stupid question because you probably don't fit in any cars, but why the M4 is even smaller? Why don't you get like an M5 or something?
I mean, the M5's next. I will go bigger, but I went to like an X6, which is a 4x4 version.
Yeah.
Well, it's just boring.
The X6 is smaller than the X5, though. The X5 would be bigger for you, I think.
Yeah. I just find them... I like a bit of fun. You need to put your foot down and be able to get thrown back in your seat from
Yeah, but I think the X5 and X6Ms are pretty fast.
Yeah.
Did you drive the M version or just the regular X6?
Just the regular, but, now business is better. We might be able to go up.
Why is business better? What have you been doing? More clients? More popularity? Better contracts?
Yeah, a mixture of everything, really. Coaching's doing well.
Yeah.
And it's at the point now where I can kind of choose who I want to take on. And I'm not charging your average coaching price in the UK, which is like 100, 150 quids.
Yeah.
I'm pricing myself out on purpose so I get serious clients. And, that's working well and got a good contract with JP that, might get bigger if we start doing even better this year. Yeah.
So it's funny watching it's funny watching the rise though, because really you kind of exploded on the scene last year. I mean, people knew who you were because you're humongous, but like last year's shows, you really kind of showed that you belong on stage with the pros.
Yeah.
And I feel like your notoriety has kind of started to really climb after last year's shows. Is that kind of the case?
I think for a long time, because I am so different and tall and unique, I guess, there's not anyone really of my proportions in the pro league,
Yeah.
I wasn't taken seriously. So it took last year for me to do well, to be taken seriously. And that's, yeah, it's definitely propelled my profile. And I'm hoping that this year, and I think I'm right in saying that because of the improvements I've made, I've already stepped over the hurdle of the introduction.
Yeah.
So I feel like the judges already know who I am. So that will help my placings even more.
Yeah.
I think you have to go over that step before you start getting the placings that you probably deserve.
Yeah, it's funny. I think people call it politics, but it's not politics. I think it's just judges are human.
Yeah.
And I think they just recognize somebody, and then the next time that person competes, like, oh, I wonder how that guy looks this time. I remember him from last time.
I see bodybuilding as a job. And at the end of the day, you don't go into a job and in a week's time become the CEO.
Yeah. No, true. So that's great, man. So your profile is elevating, business is good, everything's good. What you said you think you made some changes. What changes did you have to make from last year?
So obviously it's just been a continuing process for the last 20 years of trying to get bigger.
Yeah.
We all know that the back needed more thickness, more depth. We all know that the hamstring needed the same. And I think I've definitely improved those two parts of my physique.
Yeah.
Still need more, but I do feel as though now with the shape, I can also get taken seriously on a mass point as well as the aesthetics. So
yeah,
I feel as though there's two types of bodybuilders in this show. Mass monster, or shape. I think I'm one of probably a select few that has both. And I hope that will set me apart.
Do you think, this is going to be a really silly question because of your actual overall size, but do you think you fit into the mass monster category in muscularity, not in overall size?
It's a weird one, and you know, you asked the question for that reason. I don't consider myself a mass monster, and that's strange when, you know, I'm going on stage at about 300 pounds.
Yeah.
But I just think the aesthetics and the waist being so small leans me away from that category.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, the mass monster, I just see mass monster as, no disrespect to people like Nick, but they're just freaks, and they are freaks because of their mass.
Yeah, I think of Nick, or I think of Akeem. Akeem's doing the show.
Yeah.
So Akeem comes to mind first, and you're right. It's a freak factor. It's a thickness factor. I think that it's a density to the muscle that isn't achieved very easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. You kind of fit in both categories because of your overall size. You're going to be much bigger than the guys with shape, but you still have shape.
Yeah.
So it's like, where do you think the judges are going to put you in that, since you do kind of have your own category? It's funny. I had Patrick Moore on once, and we were talking about his shape because he's a little different than most guys. And I said, there's going to be apples and oranges. Where do you fit? And he said, I'm an avocado.
Yeah.
So like, how does this help you, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Well, I'm probably a banana because I'm long.
Yeah, I guess.
But I do feel as though, honestly, this year with the added mass, that has kind of pushed me up, whereby, let's use someone like Hassan as an example.
Sure.
Hassan should be a clear winner of somebody like myself. But I feel as though I can beat him if he doesn't now come in shape. Whereas even if he was off before, he could beat me because I didn't have that mass to back up the shape.
I think I could agree with that.
Now,
yeah,
my pecking order's probably gone from top 6s to top 3s.
Yeah.
Because of the extra thickness that lends to the shape factor as well.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought this was going to be a smaller show than it ended up being, because it's actually a deeper lineup than I considered.
Yeah.
Akeem, Shaban, Hassan, some of the European guys, William Martins, I believe his name is.
Yep.
Some of these, and then who's the Italian guy? Is it
Munzi or
Munzi
as well?
Munzi I was very impressed with. Presti's got a nice physique too, but Munzi I was more impressed with. I've seen him compete last year as well.
Yeah.
And then yourself, and there's a couple other guys, but it's a deeper lineup than I thought. So I guess I'm not going to ask you for your placings. I just, you feel like you're in a top 3 spot is where you kind of are aiming for.
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously everyone's got the keen down for the win. I think he's at that level where even if he comes in off, like say the freak factor and the muscle density and the shape is just going to be very, very hard to beat. But then anyone else, I mean, I saw Hassan in the gym today, spoke to him and his wife, lovely, lovely people. And the only knock on Hassan has obviously been his condition. And, you know, being honest, he does look like he's still softer than he should be.
Yeah.
Boy, he's that much of a freak, you know, might be able to get away with it if he's a little bit sharper than last show. So
yeah,
we'll see. It is a deep lineup. There's some very good people in there, but this is what I wanted to do this year. I wanted to see how I faced or fared with stronger competitors.
Does any of this bother you? When, like, obviously you've done this on your own, not just on the show. Obviously you've sat and looked at everybody. And does the pressure bother you, or does it excite you?
It excites me because I know I'm better, and the excitement is about how I'm received.
I see.
Because I am different, and it is apples and oranges. And again, bodybuilding is subjective and down to preference. So
sure,
I'm just hoping people prefer the lines.
I don't. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think for a long time. So I just finish off saying that.
Yeah.
I think the height has been a negative,
and
they just like not knowing what to do with me. But I think that me stepping over that hurdle last year and competing, and they know who I am. I think that is now more of a positive than a negative.
Yeah. I was going to say, I haven't really seen proportions like yours since Paul Dillette. Most of the times when you see a taller guy, they're lacking in the leg department, or they're lagging somewhere, something's falling behind. It just doesn't really, the shape doesn't look the way it's supposed to look. So, and please take that as a compliment, because I thought Paul Dillette was obviously one of the best ever.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I wish I had arms.
I want to show people what you look like, just because we've been talking about you. For those of you who don't, if you don't know Jamie yet, you should. This is Jamie's Instagram. It's AKA the Giant. So I just want to go through these are some of your more recent picks.
Yep.
I mean, the leg development on a guy, how tall are you? 6'6"?
6'5".
6'5", yeah. I mean, that's pretty incredible, man. Like, your proportions are pretty wild for somebody your height. Small waist, like you said, good shoulders. I mean, your front lat spread is definitely your signature, I would say. What do you think your best pose is?
Yeah, it's the front lat spread for definite. I think that's the one that everybody always comments on.
Yeah, I mean,
the side shots are getting better as well.
I was going to say, arms look good there, man.
Yeah, they're definitely getting better. I was going to say something I forgot, but
let's see this. Is this after a chest workout? I mean, you look full as fuck here.
Yeah, this was post-workout. So, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
There it is.
I think we spoke about this before.
Yeah.
That I always take, obviously, photos by myself, and I always look worse by myself.
Yeah.
So it's interesting seeing, you know, when I'm on your podcast and like Nick Strength and Power and people commenting, I know that you're judging the worst version of myself by myself.
Why is it the worst version of yourself, though? You mean?
Because I need to stand next to people to show.
I agree. You know what? I think I know what you're saying. So people don't understand how big you are until you're standing next in a lineup. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. I do look, you know, I still do look on the, and I watched the last podcast, and I know everybody was kind of in agreement that I still need more mass, which is definitely true. But I think it will be apparent how much extra mass I've got from last year when I stand next to others.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see it. I mean, this is a really nice physique. So honestly, we're doing predictions, right? And people were kind of glossing over, and I saw your name from the beginning, and I'm like, where am I going to put him? Because I kind of knew. Because honestly, I'm excited to see how you like, because I know it's deceiving. Because after seeing you step on stage last year, I'm like, it's really deceiving seeing you stand by yourself.
Yeah,
and seeing you stand next to other guys. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to gauge where you're going to be, because when you stand next to other people, you're going to expose their weaknesses. So
yeah.
Why was your off season so productive, man? Lots of eating?
Yeah, it was. 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 It Yes, lots of pizza.
Come on. Seriously? How much pizza were you eating and how often?
I was probably having a pizza a week at least, like a big Domino's or Papa John's.
That's standard. That's like,
yeah. But no, I think the biggest thing for me, Fouad, and you will be a testament to this yourself and everybody that you speak to on the podcast, is we take this seriously because it's our job.
Yeah.
I have just got better at being a bodybuilder, and that encompasses all aspects of that. I take this lifestyle more seriously than ever. I don't miss food. I don't miss sessions. And I tell you the biggest thing that might shock some people, I now train less than I've ever trained before. I train 4 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a Dorian Yates technique.
Yeah. I just put it down to age.
How old are you now?
I'm 35, so I think I've got another 5 years to look after myself.
Don't do what I did. I turned 35 and I went faster instead of fucking slower.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, boy. It's definitely benefiting me. I have every Wednesday and every weekend off, and I train push twice a week, which is obviously for those that are still a bit weirded out by push-pull legs, but push is shoulders and chest.
Yeah.
And I think that's lent well to the upper body improvements.
Yeah.
And I train my hamstrings twice a week, once with back and once with legs. So I just think the split and the rest, and it's just perfect.
So on your rest days, are you just full-blown resting? Are you eating more on your rest days or less? Because I know there's 2 theories to this. So like Patrick's guys, for example, is on their rest days, they eat less, right? Because they're like obviously not expending any energy.
Yeah.
For me on my rest days, I used to eat more because I always felt like when I went back to the gym, I was full-blown and I would get way better workouts.
Yeah. So I'm the same because in my off season, at some points, rest days was pizza days.
Exactly.
Yeah. So fill up for the training, and
that's right.
We're definitely in agreement of that. Patrick doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, no, but like it's funny you said that because the guys on the podcast don't ever agree with me, but it's probably because they're all coached by the same person. But
yeah,
I always felt like because people say, well, I'll have my cheat meal after my leg day. Yeah. Because I just trained legs and my body needs the saturation, blah, 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 blah. But I always felt like my cheat meal was best on the day before my lagging body part. Like if I wanted my back to grow or my legs to grow, I would cheat the night before and have a big high calorie day the day before and then go in the next day and just slaughter the workout.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people get concerned with insulin sensitivity and giving your pancreas and digestive system a break on rest days. But what I tend to do is I lower food slightly through the day, still have carbs in every meal, and then go ham at night time.
But you also, I mean, look at 6'5" and your off season's what, 330, 320?
Yeah. So I can get away with a lot.
Yeah, you probably
just find myself in the spare room quite a lot because of the stench.
The wife kicks you out, eh? Get the fuck out of here.
Rest days is go and sleep in the sun's bed day.
Yeah, but you're probably all hot and fucking sweaty and gross from cheating anyway. So you need your own bed.
There's no action on rest days.
So I had to get something else straight. You said your team spooned.
Oh, mate, funny story, right? So I'm here in the Bahamas with my mum.
Yeah.
Yesterday she says, Jamie, I was having a hyper. I'm like, I can't even think straight. She says, what do you need me to do? So she cooked my meal. She brought it over. She brings one of these.
Yeah, of course. Because she's civilized.
Mum, I need a spoon. And she goes, I didn't know.
Yeah. What were you eating, though? What was the meal?
It was chicken and rice. So you can't eat rice with a fork.
Come on, man. Seriously?
I like big spoonfuls of food. Like you get a fork and it's just like falling off the sides. Spoon's much easier.
All right. So let's say when you met your wife, is she your wife or girlfriend? Wife, right?
Yeah, wife, yeah.
Okay. So you meet your wife and you go out on your first date.
Yep.
And you go to a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
And you sit down at the table and there's a fork on one side and a knife on the other.
Yeah.
And you order chicken and rice. Do you ask the waitress to bring you a spoon for your chicken and rice?
No. The only place that I will adhere to the fork is if I'm going out to eat in a restaurant.
Okay, so what we can gather then is the proper utensil is a fork. but the easier utensil is a spoon. Is that what we're saying?
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. So I can agree that you can definitely get more volume with a spoon.
Yes.
But the more civilized approach is the fork.
I can agree with that.
Okay, we solved the problem. There we go.
I think we just solved it. That's how long has this been going on for?
it's like 3 months now.
Oh man,
I got a whole bunch of people that have messaged me saying just use a spork, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but that kind of kills the fun of having the argument.
I tell you what, I would take the fact that we just solved this on the podcast over a top 3 in the
That's funny. So okay, why? A couple more questions. I'll let you go because I know it's prep and everything.
Yeah, no problem.
Why the Bahamas? Why did you pick that show? Was it like because you thought it'd be a smaller show, because you wanted a vacation at the same time? Like, what was?
I was always planning on doing this show from the start of the year. When I looked at the calendar, because I knew this year to get to Olympia it would likely be on point, so I wanted to give myself as many chances as possible.
Okay.
But then because of COVID, I just thought logistically it's probably a hard show to do, so I'll aim for Portugal, which is in 3 weeks' time.
Okay.
About 7 weeks out, I saw the Italians, Presti and Munzi, post 7 weeks out. And I was like, what show are they doing? And I was in pretty decent shape at the time. So obviously I was another 3 weeks on top of that.
Yeah.
So I messaged the coach and I was like, Jordan, what do you reckon? 7 weeks, can we do it? And he was like, yeah, let's go for it. So that was it. I just booked a flight, changed my mind. I just saw another chance to get points on the scoreboards.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And that's it.
So how early? The show is Sunday. You said you guys got there yesterday.
We got there Monday. We got here Monday because the flights are that limited. The choices were Monday or Thursday, and Thursday is obviously too late.
Yeah.
It'd be in a 9-hour flight, so we got here Monday.
So let everybody I'm trying to fill in kind of the fans on what it's like. Are you in a host hotel or did you get it like an Airbnb?
Yeah, we got Airbnb. I'd never ever stay in a host hotel. I did actually book it because I thought, I don't know where I am going to be. I prefer to be in that place for ease. But I think in terms of cost, the Airbnb is half the price.
Yeah.
And in the host hotel, they wanted to charge you $50 a day for a fridge and a microwave.
Yeah. So, and there you probably got a full kitchen and the whole bit. So
yeah, the only thing I would say about the Bahamas is if anyone's thinking of going is the food and the supermarkets is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time when I went there. I went to this little supermarket. They barely had anything there.
Yeah,
that was so long ago.
I think you're looking at $20 for a pound of chicken.
Wow. So you're gonna spend your winnings, whatever you win at the show is basically what you spend in groceries to fucking lead up.
Pretty mad.
So are you having any fun in the Bahamas while you're there before the show, and how long are you staying after the show?
Well, as I said, my mum's here with me. She is bag carrier, ball shaver.
She's not.
She's not going to shave my balls, but she's got to shave my
backside. The backside.
Yeah. She's actually.
Your wife couldn't come? She's
working.
Yeah. Okay.
My mum's also drug administrator.
Oh, that's good. There you go.
Oh, yeah. That's the only reason I bought her. I can't reach. But we've had some fun. Today we actually got into a car crash.
Come on.
No, honestly.
Obviously not a serious one.
No, luckily. We was driving on the left. It's on the left over here.
Yeah.
And we're in the left lane. The car's in the right lane. The car in the right lane next to us had a blowout and just went poof, straight to the side. God.
Everybody's okay, obviously.
Yeah, just the car's got a little bit of damage on, so hopefully we can scuff that out. Not that it was our fault, but it's like being in a foreign country in a hire car. It's not going to be straightforward to.
So you rented the car, and now you said hopefully you can get it scuffed out. Or is it? How bad is the dent?
It's not dented. It's weird because it was like a decent enough impact, but it's scuffed it. And what I don't get is it was a little car that crashed into us, but we're in like a 4x4 Hyundai.
Yeah.
And the scratch is like quite high up, like the car almost jumped. I really don't get it.
At least you're okay, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So
we're good.
Are you guys doing any kind of, are you doing any fun shit before? Or are you kind of like, because most bodybuilders just chill in a hotel room and wait for the show.
We actually went to the host hotel yesterday, which is really nice. And
Yeah.
my mum is an avid gambler.
Really?
She's actually probably been to Gamblers Anonymous many times in the past.
Are you serious?
So I gave her $10 to put in the slots yesterday, and I had to prize her away from the slots when she was like $50 up. I was like, come on, we've been here all night.
That's so great.
Yeah, so she's now planning when she can get back to the casino.
Yeah, she's like, I don't give a shit about your show. I just want to go gamble.
Yeah, it's so bad.
How cool is it having your mom there and your mom being a fan of the sport? Is your mom a fan of the sport? Like, does she know all the other guys and everything?
She doesn't know the guys like by names in terms of the guys I'm competing against and foreign guys. UK guys, yes.
Yeah.
I would say she's more of a fan of me than the sport.
Okay.
And just, follows me and has done since I used to play football. And
yeah.
And you won't want to come to the Bahamas as well.
Hey, that's true. Hey, how long did you play rugby for?
I never played rugby. It's football. So
soccer. So that's your soccer. Yeah.
So from the age of like 5 until 23. So quite old. And then that was the breaking point. Then I stopped playing football and concentrated on the bodybuilding because there was a transition phase where I was like, I ain't ever going to put on any weight doing football as well.
Yeah, but were you good enough to play at a higher level in football or soccer?
I was good enough to play like a semi-professional level, but I never ever would have made any money from it. So
okay,
there is no point.
So you chose bodybuilding because bodybuilding's got so much money in it.
Yeah, which kind of worked out okay in the end, weirdly.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I'm excited for you. How'd your prep go? Everything went well? Everything looked like it went pretty smooth. Your progress pictures came up and you just kept getting better and better and better.
Everything's gone really good. Like I said, I've been training less. And I'd like to be honest with everyone as well, because I think it's a very, very valid learning point for people out there. And I think you've mentioned it before yourself. Drugs this time has been a lot lower, namely one particular drug. Well, two particular drugs. One is tren.
Okay.
So in past preps, I've been no stranger to do a gram of tren a week.
Are you serious?
Yep. This prep I've done 400 for the last 6 weeks. And I felt healthier, and I think that has had that stress on the body. Results have been better.
Yeah.
So for anybody out there thinking that kind of drug, more is going to yield more results, is completely wrong.
Yeah.
And the other thing is anti-estrogens.
Yeah.
This time I have done none.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that is like obviously very strange for us, because normally 4 weeks out with Arimidex, get dry, blah,
put them up. Yeah. So, well, it's funny you said that. I've actually mentioned both those things on the podcast. The last prep I did, the one where I pulled out of Chicago, and I was going to do it last year when I got in shape. One of the reasons I felt so much worse was I had increased my anti-estrogens, because that's what that's kind of just what I always do. And I was kind of doing my own prep.
Yeah.
So and John had told me like, hey man, that's too much, but I'm just a stubborn motherfucker, and I do things that I'm used to doing.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that's like the culprit for a lot of problems, is people add too much Arimidex, or they add Nolvadex on top of it or whatever. And then all of a sudden everything just starts to feel like it's crashing.
Yeah. And I think when you start adding all these different variables in the mix, you don't know whether you're flat or fat or struggling to get full. Yeah. You feel like shit. It could be this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So this one's been very simple, hard work, consistent eating, a nice kind of level of drugs in the mix as well.
Let me ask you this: without the AIs or the anti-estrogens, were you feeling fuller, stronger all the way through to the end of your prep?
Yeah, I was definitely noticeably, I wouldn't say stronger towards the end, because energy levels are energy levels, but I was noticeably less agitated. Yeah. Even though I'm agitated, I was less. There was a noticeable difference in my demeanor.
Sure, I can see that. But it's also the tren. I mean, 1,000 milligrams of tren is 1,000 milligrams of tren, dude.
Yeah,
the most. My most is 600.
Yeah, I think that's top end of what anyone should be looking at.
That's really because the way I see it is like during a prep, tren 200 milligrams Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or if you're tren A, it could be 6 days a week, every day, like at the end of a prep, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of all I ever did. I always felt like 300 was the average. I might bump it up during a prep, but I never went over 6. No. So I'm not surprised you felt better on 4, because I think 1,000 would be crazy for me.
Yeah, and I think that's a very important message for people out there, because it is what would you call it? It's a problem, isn't it? The drug in bodybuilding is a problem. I
don't blame people. I don't. People call it like they say it's a horrible thing, and it is, but I don't blame people for thinking that more is better.
No.
Because it would just make sense as a bodybuilder. You feel like, well, if I do 200-pound bench press, well, if I do 300-pound bench press, I'm going to be bigger. Yeah. So it kind of fits in line with the rest of our thinking. Like, well, if I eat 2,000 calories, well, if I eat 3,000 calories, I'm going to get bigger. So it's kind of like the same. It goes along with the same line of thinking. But the problem with it is there's a point where the risk is way past the reward.
Yeah.
And definitely. It just the benefit of it just kind of drops off. And I think that's the hard part to explain to people. But that's why I do this, because I have people like you on here telling people like this is what worked for me. And then I think that's very valuable for people to hear a professional, as you're still like at the top of the game, saying like, hey, I learned this about my body. This is what they can do now. Yeah. So I think, and that's why I appreciate you doing so much work on the podcast, because it's I take my bandana off to you, honestly, because the amount you do and give back to the sport now is phenomenal. And I think anybody should be very, very grateful for what you're doing. I thank you very much for having me on the podcast again. Well, no, thank you, Jamie. And thank you for saying that. But honestly, I really enjoy doing it, because it keeps me attached to the game. And it is a way to give back. And I appreciate letting the fans kind of hear everybody's story. But listen, more importantly, this is about you and your show, which is 3 days away now? Yeah, so it's Friday tomorrow we register. Yeah. Saturday get tanned. Yeah. Sunday we get it on, and then we get pizza. When you tan, do you wear a sock on your junk? Depends who I'm getting tanned by. Do you know the thing is as well? Sometimes I just the longer I've done this, the less shame I have. Yeah, I know. I've noticed that too in the back, in the pump up areas or in the tanning areas. I've noticed the guys that've been around the longest are just fucking hanging out. Like, at that stage in your prep, who cares? Like, it's all shriveled up. I just still don't care. Yeah. All right. I've got a wife at home. I'm not trying to impress anyone. Okay. Assuming you have to wear a sock. Yeah. Do you put your balls in the sock too, or just the shaft? I tell you what, if I didn't put my balls in the sock, it'd fall off. Oh fuck, man, you're hilarious. All right, well, I got to get you back on for a bodybuilding and bollocks or a bro chat, man. We'll have a good laugh. Oh, 100%. What do you have lined up for food after the show? Snacks? Do you have like a whole bag of snacks, or is it pizza? I've got some snacks in the fridge. To be fair, my mum tried to raid my peanut M&Ms earlier. I was not happy. You can't fuck with that bag, man. That's the look. She got the look. Yeah. Well, no, we've been scoping out pizza joints since we got here. No bullshit. I don't think you're gonna find anything, man. It's tough. You know what I noticed about pizza? Yeah. Wherever you have like people's hometown pizza is always their favorite. Yeah. Oh, this is a good question, because I've recently realized that I don't like the standard traditional Italian thin sliced pizza. Oh, you like a doughier pizza? Yeah, it's got to have some substance to it. Yeah, see, that's opposite of me. See, this is what I'm saying. It's like I don't like thin, but I don't like it doughy either. Okay. So like we have a good Italian population in the city where I live. So there's pretty authentic pizza. Yeah. But it's funny. I realized everybody in their city thinks their city is known for pizza. Yeah, definitely. Because I have friends come down from other cities and like, oh, you got to try our pizza. Like, we're known for it. And then they'll try it and they'll be like, yeah, it's okay. And so, so everybody's got their own version of what's the best. So you like a thicker dough?
Yes. And there is actually Pizza Huts, Domino's.
Yeah.
So I think they're like safe bets, to be fair.
Yeah, they're all usually pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Do you like a pizza pie, like a deep dish? You ever had like a deep dish pie?
Yeah. I went to New York once and they were like the best, real thick ones.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of ordering 2 large pizzas because I thought I was going to eat them all.
Yeah.
And I ate like 3 slices and I was fucked. I couldn't finish because it was like this thick. I couldn't finish shit. So anyway, Jamie, listen, I wish you the best, man. I hope you crush it on Sunday, and we'll all be watching. So
yeah.
Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Just to thank you very much for yourself again. Thank you to the sponsor, Trained by JP. I know he's working with Ian now and a lot of the guys in the US.
Yeah.
With the clothing side of things. Thank you to the mum. Thank you to the wife.
Yeah.
And I just look forward to getting it on. Thank you for all the support on the social media and all my platforms as well. It's definitely not gone unnoticed this year.
Awesome. Okay, brother. Listen, we'll see you on Sunday, and do your best and fucking kill it.
I will do, Fouad. Thank you very much, mate.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
Cheers, buddy. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.